Hey, the Senate voted unanimously 100-0. This must mean good things are coming to the politicians and the lobbyists.
On this vote, the yeas are 100. The nays are 0. The bill as amended is passed. The question occurs on passage of H.R. 6968 as amended. Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. The clerk will call the roll.
People ask me all the time, hey Brian, do you really use that keto elevate stuff, and does it really work? The answer is yes and yes. Never in my entire life have I lost body fat so quickly. Not even in my prime at 25, which is over 25 years ago. I'm approaching 54 this year. If you want to support the channel and do your health a favor, grab some with my link in the description. In the hypocritical spirit of never let a good crisis go to waste,
you never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
the psychopathic wrecking ball parasites of the Senate on Thursday unanimously passed a package to end normal trade relations with Russia and Belarus and codify the administration's plan, which is an act of war, on Russian oil imports, capping off weeks of negotiations that had stalled the legislation. Another word for this is showboating. Senators voted 100-0 on two bills. The first ends permanent normal trade relations with Russia and Belarus. The bill also authorizes Magnitsky Act sanctions that target human rights violations and corruption with penalties like visa bans or asset freezes. So without shame, the professional human rights violators and corrupt warmongering megalomaniacs of Washington's District of Criminals, who give steam to the murderous military-industrial complex, all of a sudden wax virtuous when it comes to another country reportedly doing the same thing as the U.S. military has been doing for dozens and dozens of years, as they terrorize the towns and villages of other countries in the name of spreading democracy. The second bill, which also passed 100-0, codifies the creepy puppet Uncle Joe's ban on Russian oil imports. That's going to go real well for us. Because the Senate made changes to both bills, they need to be passed by the House before they go to creepy Uncle Biden's desk. The House is expected to pass the bills on Thursday because they're also a gaggle of soulless sellouts. Listen to what Senate Majority Leader Little Chucky Give Me Your Guns or Else Schumer said. No nation whose military is committing war crimes deserves free trade status with the United States. No vile thug like Putin deserves to stand as an equal with the leaders of the free world. Hey, Chucky, let's ask the civilians of other countries if they think the U.S. military is constantly committing war crimes. Let's ask them if we deserve free trade status for the lives American war criminals have taken and the destruction they've caused. Senators say they were under pressure to reach an agreement before they leave town on Thursday for a 2-week break. And as fake stream media keeps trying to convince audiences around the world that Russia is continuing its weeks-long invasion of Ukraine. That pressure only grew this week in their minds after perfectly timed propaganda photos emerged over the weekend of the so-called destruction in Bucha, a town northwest of Ukraine's capital, including images of people lying dead in the streets and in mass graves, triggering, of course, widespread condemnation. And that's exactly what such images are intended to do, aren't they? The propagandists know they can trigger an emotional, illogical, immoral response if they can play on the outrage of the unthinking masses. This justifies stealing more money for the people so they can stuff their war chest a little bit more for the benefit of the defense contractors and other parasites standing in a long line of lobbyists, politicians, subcontractors, and oligarchs who stand to make vast fortunes from the war effort. Every war, guys, is a banker war, and every war starts with slitting the throat of truth and replacing it with lies. Biden, the lifelong war crime enabler, said that he believed Russia had committed war crimes, while little Chucky Schumer went further, saying it was genocide and Mr. Putin is guilty of it. The Senate's vote is the first Ukraine-related bill it has had a roll call vote on since it passed billions in Ukraine aid as part of a sweeping government funding bill last month. If the 9 most terrifying, disingenuous words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help," then surely the 10 most terrifying, similarly disingenuous words have to be, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help Ukraine." The trade bill passed the House on March 17th, while the bill to codify the Biden administration's oil ban passed on March 9th. As part of the deal to get votes on the Russian package today, the Senate also passed bipartisan legislation on Wednesday night to establish a Lend-Lease program for Ukraine, making it easier to send military aid to the country. And why wouldn't they do that? They're on track to trash the value of the dollar, and they will not be deterred. Remember all those free vaccines and all that free stimulus they offered you? As many predicted 2 years ago, that $1,400 stimulus will end up costing you over $5,200 and more whether you took it or not. And you'll pay for it in your daily cost of living expenses like power, food, fuel, clothing, everything. But then you're already feeling that financial pain, aren't you? The powers that shouldn't be get to use the fiat first, extract its value through giveaways, and you're left holding the bag, paying inflated prices. And they make sure that they're never implicated because they can lay the blame on a virus, on Orange Man Bad, or on evil Putin or evil Osama bin Laden. Anybody but the criminals who slither around in Washington. Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen from New Hampshire had the gall to say this about the bill. As the world bears witness to the most serious security threat in Europe and our global stability since World War II, this legislation to speed up the process of moving military equipment to the front lines couldn't be more urgent. Listen, lady, if you are a lady, the most serious security threat in over 100 years happens to be the banksters who control the value of the world's reserve currency as they swindle other countries out of wealth, power, and resources. Remember, guys, it's a big club and you and I ain't in it. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and my backup channels, Grease Monkey Videos, and Here's the Deal. You'll get content over there you won't get anywhere else. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. While we have time and it still retains some of its perceived value, maybe it'd be a good idea to convert your worthless fiat into valuable, storable food. Don't be the one who waits till the food riots start happening. You don't want to be fighting panicking people in the store over that last jar of peanut butter. At Prepare with High Impact Flicks, you can get up to 3 air and watertight gasket sealed ammo cans, each filled with a 4-week emergency supply. 7 food varieties, 2,000 calories a day, 284 servings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and each meal comes in a resealable, heavy-duty 4-layered pouch. And it's got a 25-year shelf life. Every order of a 4-week supply gets you $100 off plus free shipping. Here's how simple it is to make. I'm going to cook up some Granny's home-style potato soup. People are going to think I'm a culinary hero. You open the pouch, boil 4.5 cups of water, stir the contents, simmer on low heat for 15 to 20 minutes, take it off the heat, then let it set for 2 to 3 minutes before you serve it up. Man, this stuff's so good, people are going to think Granny stopped by and filled your kitchen with a whole bunch of love. Well, if Granny does stop by, she's going to fill your behind with a whole bunch of buckshot if you keep talking with your mouth full. Wipe your dang beard off. It's embarrassing. So maybe convert some of your worthless fiat into valuable food while you still can. Order now and get $100 off of up to 3 4-week emergency food supplies at preparewithhighimpactflix.com. The link is in the description.